I'm Judge Faith Jenkins, and this is Divorce Court. All kinds of couples with problems come to me for advice.
Can I be in a relationship with someone that I really don't trust? Trust is lost in buckets and gained in drops.
Others need a lighter touch.
It's only been 3 years. You've been back together 7 hours and 12 minutes. I hope you can make it to dinner.
But most people just need some of my tough love.
You're problematic on many levels. You know nothing about commitment, monogamy, integrity, and loyalty.
Now, join me in Divorce Court for today's case.
This couple has been together for 3 years, and she's ready to end the relationship. His constant gambling, resulting in him losing $500 a week, has led her to believe he isn't the one for her. She also discovered he was living a double life. That's today's case on Divorce Court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, as you know, we have a virtual audience and it's filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Jennifer from Astoria, New York.
Jennifer, welcome to Divorce Court. We're so happy to have you with us.
Your Honor, this is the case of Lewis versus Bonner.
Thank you, Juan. Miss LaPreshia Lewis.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Mr. Darnell Bonner
Yes, Your Honor.
to Divorce Court today. The two of you have been in a long-term relationship.
Correct.
For the last several years. You live together, but you're currently separated the last 3 months. You've had a number of issues you want to see if you can resolve here, or you're going to go your separate ways after court today.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start with you, Miss Lewis. Why don't you tell me what's happening?
Your Honor, he has a real bad gambling addiction. He's a cheater. He has anger issues to where he breaks my things, and he's just cheating all the time. I'm fed up with it.
Let me hear from Mr. Bonner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand, sir, why you're here today?
Yes, to defend myself on these baseless allegations.
Oh, they're baseless.
Baseless. Yes, I gamble. I gamble to feed our family. I take risks. You know, sometimes I lose, but when I win, she don't have a problem with me winning. She has a problem with me losing.
Okay.
Because he's always losing, Your Honor.
No one has a problem when they're winning, but it depends on how much you're losing. That's the problem, right?
Yes. Yes.
So what's going on, Miss Lewis?
He's losing like $500 a week or more, and that's becoming a problem. For instance, I'm not gonna lie, I used to smoke. I no longer smoke, so I had to stay overnight in the hospital because he told the doctors that he felt like I needed to stay overnight for a panic attack. And his friend went on to tell me he took him home to get our speaker, and once he got the speaker, he went to pawn it, and when he pawned it, Your Honor, he literally went to the casino.
And that was just a ruse because he wanted to go pawn the speaker and gamble?
Correct.
So under the pretense that you were panicking
Correct.
from quitting smoking.
Yes.
That's what he was telling the doctor?
Yes.
Mr. Bonner, is that true?
Yes, I pawn a speaker, but I pawn it just to sacrifice.
I want you to enlighten me on your sacrifices that you're making.
We was low on funds and all that. When you gamble, it's a possibility you may win. So
That's why it's called gambling.
exactly, and so I figure life is based on risk. If I wouldn't gamble the money, we were gonna spend it on baseless things anyway. So I gambled, I took a risk, and I came up.
Are you winning or are you losing more?
I win some, I lose some.
So you're 50-50 is
I'm
what you're
50-50,
saying?
'cause
So how is that working out for you? 50-50?
We making it off that.
You're making it off that?
Yeah.
If you really are 50-50, I have to tell you, you'd be the first gambler I've had in my courtroom that's 50-50. It's probably more like 80-20. But I'll hear you out. What else do you say has happened, ma'am?
Okay, so Your Honor, one time he proposed to me and I was happy, no lie, right? Okay, so then he started gambling again, okay? And then he goes on to ask me for the ring back.
Yeah, and I want to say
Beautiful. Is that the engagement ring, sir?
yes,
Beautiful ring?
$450, and then that was just on sale.
Okay, good for you.
You know,
Okay.
That was
But
for the record, you know.
Okay.
He asked me for the ring back, telling me that he's gonna get a better ring, to pawn it and go to the casino again.
You pawned her ring to go gamble?
Can I interject?
Please do.
She has her hand out all the time when I win. So it's never no, oh, babe, yes, you won, but you still, when I win, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. So I got the ring off gambling. She didn't tell you that, did she?
So you won a couple of blackjack hands and were able to get her engagement ring?
Yes. She didn't tell you that, did she?
Did you tell her you were going to pawn the ring?
I don't recall ever saying that, no.
Okay, so you took the ring, Do you recall going to the pawn shop with it?
No, I don't recall that, no.
Okay. What do you think you did with it?
What I did was, I returned the ring back to its source.
Oh, you got your $450 back?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because, Yana, I'm not gonna lie, Yana. When I proposed to her, I never proposed to no woman ever in my life. So I went inside my element, and I felt like this is real love, you know? I got down on one knee, you know, and I had a real spiel. I was like, you know, we've been going through a lot in our personal life, but I feel I want to change, though. So would you marry me and accept me forever? She said, oh, yes, yes, ooh, the ring. So she was happy. But on that same night, Yana, we got into it. She was calling me a lot of stuff, Yana, derogatory names. I said, you know what? This is our night. Something special.
So you
I
said,
feel like she didn't deserve it.
So hours later, after you proposed, you de-proposed.
I de-proposed,
and took the ring
yes.
and sold it.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you take that money from the ring and gamble with it?
Yana, I don't recall, Yana.
If you had won something, you would be recalling it, trust me.
Yes. He literally went and gambled. That's all he ever does. After he spent all of this money, he knew that we had a utility bill coming up, and guess what? Here we are. Now we're facing a disconnection notice.
Mr. Bonner
Yes.
is not behind on his bills, according to him.
$1,000.
This was a disconnection notice?
Yes.
Mr. Bonner, what happened?
Yana, it's a pandemic, and I took advantage of it. Based upon the state regulations, they said the fees are being waived. So I figured we got like 9 months of just running it up, of gambling, you know what I'm saying? It's like saving. And at the end, I get on a payment plan. That's what my forethought was, you know? I did not know the bill was gonna be, you know.
So then they held you accountable for the utilities.
Yeah, she didn't tell you was, I brought the bill down and I lowered the bill.
Mm-hmm. That's what people do when they want to pay their bills.
Yes.
They pay them.
I agree.
He gets angry, steals my car, and hit a deer.
That was an act of God, Yana. That was beyond my control, Yana. I don't know when deer's coming out. You know, all I see is eyes. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Miss Lewis, what was it that you said to him that got him to de-propose, to get up from that one knee? Two of you had an argument?
No, it's more on the level of like, okay, so for instance, we may have the same amount of money, okay? And it's like me, I like to spend my money on different things, you know? So when he's done spending, he want to borrow back. You can't borrow back. You can't, you know? So at this point now, he's like, well, give me my ring back. I bought it. Like one of those, so.
No.
Okay, let me ask you a few questions, Mr. Bonner, because we've had our share of people in this courtroom who like to gamble as a hobby, some more. How often do you gamble, sir?
Every other day.
You go to the casinos to gamble?
I gamble wherever there's money could be put into.
How long do you gamble when you do go?
Until I double my money or till I'm broke.
Okay. How long have you been doing this?
About roughly 15 years.
About 15 years. Every other day for 15 years, you've been gambling until you double your money or you're broke.
Well, it increased over the years.
The reality is, if you're gambling every other day, you're losing every other day because you're really not winning that much. You have no savings, am I right? Have you ever thought about decreasing some of the gambling that you're doing?
I thought about it. I even was gonna ban myself because it got so bad, but it's hard, you know. It's hard.
So you were going to stop yourself because you knew that it had gotten out of control and the gambling had taken over you.
Because it was reaching a point where it was detrimental to our relationship.
That's why people go get help.
Right.
Because you've reached a point to where you're having a hard time controlling your impulses when it comes to gambling.
I agree.
Your Honor, and beyond just that, like, his anger issues, like, it's becoming a big problem. Like, for instance, he gets angry, steals my car, goes onto the highway, and hit a deer in the vehicle because he's mad at me.
That was an act of God, Your Honor.
What was an act of God?
When I hit a
hitting
deer. That was beyond my control, Your Honor. I don't know when deer's coming out. You know, all I see is eyes. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. You know, no, I can't control that.
Are you having some anger issues?
I may get upset, but I don't think I have no anger problem, though.
Like you don't have a gambling problem?
I don't think you could mix both of them in the same category, you know, because anger is not an addiction, in my opinion. Gambling, that's an addiction. Now, it's hard to, that's off impulse. I can't control that, you know?
Okay, so you are acknowledging that you have a problem, which is good because that's the first step, right? What are your issues in the relationship? Do you have any, or is it just the two of you not communicating and not getting along?
Oh, you said the right words, communication. She's very poor at communication. Like, every time she away from me, Yana, I call her and say, oh, baby, my phone on 1%. Every time when she with her friends on 1%, that means your phone finna go off. I know them little games. Don't play them games with me, you know. When you with me, your phone always on, 100%. Your phone never die.
So you don't believe her phone is actually at 1%. You think that's just an excuse.
Who will let their phone die when they is out? People need their phone on because you just never know what's gonna happen.
Why do you think she doesn't want to talk to you?
Being sneaky.
About what?
I don't know, Yana. I'm still trying to figure it out. I just can't pinpoint something to say, okay, this is what she's doing, because I just can't say I have caught her cheating in act. But I can say her phone always on silent. I don't understand that. My phone ring, yours should be able to ring. Or she see number calling, she don't answer the number. That's your phone, like.
Are you sending him the voicemail?
No, I could be with him all day long, and when I get home, he wants to call my phone, and it's like we were just together like 20 hours. Like, give me a minute, I need space. You know, like I gotta breathe, you gotta breathe. We gotta miss each other.
Okay.
We can't miss each other if we're always up under each other, and we just can't.
So all this time together, and y'all still are having issues communicating?
To me, I communicate with him, but he doesn't like the way that I communicate with him.
Mr. Pullikin, I would just like for you to speak to Mr. Bonner about gambling and how that's impacting his relationship and his own life.
If you are at the slots every other day, that is time that you are not spending with her, working on your relationship.
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content.
Your Honor, I still gotta tell you about his anger issues. He literally poured liquor in my car because he was mad at me. We have a disagreement about something to the point where he was like, well, you're not gonna drink this bottle with nobody else, and poured the liquor in my car just straight like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yana, we had a misform of communication, so that led to a brief argument. So she said, well, I'm gonna take you home. Okay, this is my bottle. She said, no, give me the bottle. You're not gonna drink with nobody else, so I'll pour it out.
Okay, that's
And
exactly what she
driving.
just said.
Now, that was an anger episode.
I'm glad you're acknowledging this, sir. So I hear a number of issues. One being gambling, second being communication, third being knowing how to handle your anger in an emotionally mature way. A lot of the arguing that's happening between the two of you is because the money that's constantly being lost. And I have Mr. Abalash Pullikin. He's a licensed counselor with over 10 years of experience in several different areas, but one of them being addiction. And I asked him to come and give an opinion, sir. Mr. Pullikin, would you please come out? Thank you. Mr. Pullikin, thank you for being here. I would just like for you to speak to particularly Mr. Bonner about his behavior, especially with gambling and how that's impacting his relationship and his own life.
I'd be happy to, Your Honor. So, Mr. Bonner, listening to what you had to say, I realize that gambling serves a function in your life. It helps you feel better. It helps you contend with a lot of the hardships that you have to experience. And it's natural to want to have an escape. But sometimes these outlets and these escapes can really cause disconnections between us and the people that we care about. So the thing that gambling is supposed to do for you as a hobby, right, is that it's supposed to calm you down. It's supposed to relax you.
Right.
It feels really good when you win.
It does.
But on the other hand, it's hurting the family that the two of you have together when you lose. It is causing the woman you love to feel insecure about your financial condition when things are bad. And also, it is taking you away from her. If you are at the slots every other day, that is time that you are not spending with her, working on your relationship. In a lot of ways, what gambling is doing is resolving a lot of those problems for you in the short term. It's not giving her an outlet to work as a team with you. Gambling is shutting your partner out. It feels like it's helping you, but it's hurting you and it's hurting her.
What do you have to say about that, Mr. Bonner?
I agree. You know, when I gamble, it's the only addiction that I really struggle with. But I tell myself, when I lose every time, I'll say, I'm done gambling. I'm gonna ban myself. But when I get money, though, it's a habit that I just find it harder breaking, because I figure, like, why not take it to try to gamble, and hopefully I try to hit, you know what I'm saying, get like $1,000, and because money makes her happy on a lot of things. So.
Well, Mr. Bonner, the thing that I'm going to say is the thing that would make her happier is just having you available and fighting these battles with her.
Right.
Not having money around is a hard thing. Feeling that pressure as a provider is a hard thing. But gambling isn't a ticket to money, right? They're not selling you money. They're selling you a dream. They're selling you a possibility. A lot of these gambling establishments prey on your hopes of a better future, right? And so ultimately, it's not the fact that she needs money. It's this desire to feel good enough for her. It's this desire to feel good enough as a provider.
Exactly,
right?
exactly, right.
But I think at the same time, you have it in you to build towards bigger and better things. It doesn't have to be gambling, right? Gambling just feels like the best path there sometimes.
It does.
Because those big gains just feel really, really good.
Right.
Yeah.
It does.
Thank you, Mr. Pullican.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, I think he's right. When it comes to gambling, you have to look at it like this. There's just no such thing as fast money. Going
Yana,
forward with the two of you.
May I say something, please? I wrote a poem. This poem gonna tell it all, Yana. It's called What I'm Fighting For. I'm fighting to maintain my love and wish run deep. A love and hate relationship that also sunk beneath. I'm fighting to keep my commitment I long to see. A commitment we both breached. They got us in divorce court, awaiting to speak. I'm fighting to show you I do love you, despite my ways you view as sneaky. My gambling, the sketchy behaviors I vow to cease. I'm fighting to end the bitter and defend my honor. So history does not repeat itself, leading to Lewis versus Bonner.
That was very nice,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Bonner. Those are wonderful sentiments. Now let's make it happen. Here's what we're gonna do. You go back home, join Gamblers Anonymous, so you can be around like-minded people who wanna improve, wanna do better,
Okay.
because they assign you with people who hold you accountable.
Yes.
I know money is very important to you as a provider, but you heard everything Mr. Pullican said. It's about what you're doing with your time and you realizing there are no quick fixes. Sometimes you just have to do things the old-fashioned way, which is working, making your money, putting some aside for savings, letting it build up, making some good investments. Those investments are not in the casinos, and keep going and working to build your family. You both seem like very likable people. It appear to be a lot of love between the two of you. You just need to work some issues out, not only with the gambling, but learning how to communicate in a healthy way, an emotionally mature way, and treating each other right even when you're angry. It's easy to be nice to each other when you like each other, but treating each other right even when you're upset and learning how to communicate with each other when you're upset. That doesn't just exacerbate the problems and the issues. You understand?
Thank you, Judge.
Good luck to both of you.
Thank you. Judge Faith made a lot of sense when she said that gambling ruins my relationship. I'm gonna try to better myself and better our relationship by not gambling and show her that I do love her more than she realized.
I'm done. Done.
Like you.
I'm done.
Like
I'm just done.
you have to
I
give
don't
me-
want to be with you no more.
Okay, that's what she do. That's what she do. She walk off, but I still love her though. The poem means a lot, but you see, she just walked off. Y'all see? That's what she do. Walk off, walk off. See, we should have said that on the judge.
We're done. We're done.
You should
We're
have said that
done.
for the judge. You just walk
done.
off.
Done.
Communication.